Hey y'all, welcome to our podcast, Love Speaks Volumes,
where we seek to bridge the communication gaps in our relationships.
We are your hosts. I'm Louise, a certified marriage counselor and certified sex therapist.
And I'm Mekka, a defense lawyer with over 20 years experience.
We are mothers,
wives,
sisters,
and friends.
And together, we are Black Diamonds 2.0 Entertainment. We are strong,
resilient,
powerful,
beautiful,
but never flashy,
pressured, but unbreakable.
Are you a Black Diamond?
If so, wear your title boldly and proudly because you deserve it, my kings and queens.
How are all our Black Diamonds doing today? What's going on in our relationships? Let's talk about it.
You didn't say, hit record, so Walt didn't record. But the last thing you said, I got you, Walt. Last thing you said was, stop recording. And what did Walt do? Walt stopped recording. Then you said, are you recording? Walt said, you ain't tell me to. You told me to stop. So I stopped. Now you want me to start, but you didn't tell me to start. I got you, Walt.
You know what? This is what happens when your co-hosts take your husband's side. I'm about ready to fire both of them. Okay.
She gonna be the love speaks. There's no volume. But she gonna just be the love, because she gonna just, X me out. So I'm the volume. Y'all see I'm loud. So I'm the volume. This is the love.
That is me. Y'all can see we are back again with another episode. And actually, that little thing we just did, y'all, that was for real. That wasn't acting. Mm-hmm. My husband is probably over in the corner right now. He's our production person today, and he is rolling his eyes at me. But it's all love.
I'm having a ball, though. It is funny. At least it ain't my husband. It is funny to see them interact, but I got Walt's back.
Oh, my gosh. Y'all pray for him. So it's a nice segue into our topic for today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We miss y'all.
Yes.
We definitely have missed y'all. And we appreciate, I'm going to say this again, we appreciate you all.
Yes.
Appreciate you contacting us and saying, hey, we need another episode. What's going on? Why haven't we heard from y'all? Mm-hmm. Well, we're here. And we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. Hang in there with us. Hang in there with us. We got some new episodes for you guys.
Yeah.
This one today. And while she said that was a good segue into what we were talking about, we're talking about strong women. In fact, we're going to entitle this, hit them with it, friend.
Y'all see that?
We're going to title this one, Too Strong for Your Own Good.
Because apparently I'm too strong for my own good because I'm not giving good instructions over here. I'm assuming that somebody's got it all together, but they don't. And this one over here is taking up for him. But y'all know she's a defense attorney, so she's in here taking up for my husband.
That's right. I got Walt's back.
Yeah.
I'm defending Walt.
But
give good instructions.
Yes, maybe I should.
Yes.
But I am a strong woman, and God bless him
Absolutely.
that he has to deal with me and all my crazy.
Yes. So this episode was inspired actually by a couple I met a few weeks ago. And it's been several weeks, not just a few weeks, but probably a couple of months now. But friend, I ran into this couple, and very nice couple. We were all at a wedding together, and I won't say any names because hopefully they're watching, but you inspired our episode today.
Yes.
And I got to talking to this couple, and what he informed me was that, one, that they were newly married. Mm-hmm. But he says, how do I get her to allow me to be there for her? He says, his gripe or his criticism was that she was just too independent. And he felt like, I want to be that leader. I want to be the head of the household. I want to provide for her. I want to be there for her, but she won't let me. It's either her way or no way. And so he was like, how do I, he feels he's a strong man, and he wanted to be that strong man and companion for her. But she was not in a place to either receive it or to allow it. So I will tell you, she was not as vocal as he was. She was strong but silent, obviously, but she was not talking much, which is fine because guess what? I didn't know them. I had just met them. We had just really started talking. We started talking because he was trying to figure out my age. And so he was just
and you told him 21, right?
What? You know my age, friend. Of course. I told him 21. And so he was just like, your skin looks great. And I said, well, to help you out a little bit, this is my husband over here. And of course, if y'all see my husband, he looks really, really young.
He does.
But he's 5 days older than me. And so...
That makes him 21 in 5 days.
That it... What? Come on, friend. Your math be mathing because guess what? My friend know me and she know my age. Hey.
I try.
But he kept probing. I was like, yeah, my husband don't even... Yeah, no, I'm not even... He probably don't even remember my real age right now because I've been 21 forever and a day and I'm going to continue to be 21. But what I told him was that, I'm going to wrap this up. But what I told him was we've been married for 25 years. Wow. Longer than I've been alive. Yep. It was prearranged from birth. Yes, that kind of thing. In vitro, we were already married. Now, but what I was telling him, I was like, listen, he was, he said, this is my wife. We're celebrating our 1 year. And so I was congratulating them. And we just started a conversation. And so he was like, 25 years, how y'all make it last? We're on our first year and, we've been bickering, we having some issues and blah, blah, blah. So I told him about our podcast. And I was like, well, you know what? Y'all probably need to go listen to our podcast. So I was telling him about the podcast. And from there, we just started the conversation. But one thing he told me was that, like I said, that she was just too independent. And he wanted to be, he really wanted to be that man. He wanted to be head of the household. He wanted to be the leader. He wanted to provide for her, but she was just too damn independent. And so, I got to thinking about that. I really got to thinking about that. And I know we're independent to an extent. We also rely on our helpmates as well, but we're strong women.
Yes, we
are. I really did think about the two of them because I didn't like the fact that I love Black love. I love love, period, but I definitely love Black love. And I was a little pained for them because they were 1 year in and they were already feeling like they were struggling. And so I was trying to figure out why exactly that is, even though I didn't know them, but I got to thinking, and I got to talking to, with my own husband as I reflected on my conversation with them. One thing when, like I said, she was strong but silent because she didn't talk a lot, but as he was talking to me, with her present and my husband present, I asked her, does he communicate, like that with you at home? And what she was like, no, he does not communicate. He does not communicate well at all. And so, again, like I said, I started thinking about that and her strength. And I told my husband, I said, here's another thing they did tell me, which I thought was very important, was that this was the second marriage for the both of them. Okay. And so that really made me think that she's probably so strong because she's got to the point where she had to be. Right. At least probably from her prior relationship or prior relationships. Some of us women have gotten to the point where we've been let down, we've been betrayed, or, that support system that we were supposed to have in our significant other just not there. And so you've had to learn to have your own back. You had to learn to how to take care of you and yours. And so the more you do that, the stronger you get, the more reliant and less dependent you are on somebody else, much less a spouse or a significant other who may let you down. Yeah,
because our experiences really do teach us. Right. And so if you have been let down by a whole bunch of people, whether that could even be your family members.
It could be anybody.
In your upbringing, your family of origin, your mom, your dad, if you couldn't depend on anyone, you learn to be very independent very, very early. And so then to get in a relationship where someone's asking you to be dependent, that's a foreign concept for you. And so it takes some real self-surrender and also a lot of self-work to even fall into that.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been hurt in a relationship,
to try to be that vulnerable again, it hurts.
That's risky.
Right.
That's risky business.
Absolutely. So,
and then you let somebody hurt you, and maybe this isn't someone who is constantly about hurting you, but if they hurt you one time, it's almost like you go all the way back and you say, oh, here we go again. Right. You're triggered instantly. And, I don't want to be dependent on somebody again. I just rather take care of myself.
Right. And you know what they say, you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So a lot of times we don't want to go down that same path. Right. And so you're stuck in this, I'm going to do me, I'm going to take care of me, and I'm, you could be my significant other, but I'm going to have mine, I'm going to do for me, and I'm going to do for mine, meaning my children or what have you. And, you fit in where you can fit in, but this is what you married. But I caution, even in our own strength, I do caution us. And when you get to that point, or when you are that type of strong woman, it may hinder the growth of your relationship. It may hurt the growth of your relationship, because you two are supposed to come one. And y'all can text me, you can inbox me, you can do all of that. I'm not gonna give a damn, because as given what I'm about to say, because I know it's biblical. But the Bible talks about the man being the head of the household. It doesn't talk about the woman being in the head of the household. Now, I know we have some women who are, by circumstance, they are the head of their household. Yeah. However, or because they have a man who doesn't want to step up and be the head, or doesn't want to do what he or he's supposed to do to be the head. But the divine order is that the man's supposed to be the head of the household. When he made Adam, he said, let me build him a helpmate. It's not good for man to be alone. He didn't build Eve first and then build Adam to be her helpmate. So if y'all got an issue with that, y'all take that up with Jesus. Y'all take that up with God. Don't take it up with me, because I ain't gonna give a damn. But I'm just telling you.
Let me interject something right here, because a lot of times people stop with that, the man is supposed to be the head of the household. And they also go into Ephesians, where it talks about wives must submit to their husbands, but they don't read the rest of it. And so a lot of people just say, oh, well, you just got to be submissive. Just be submissive and obey. No. That's not what when you go beyond the wives submitting to the husband, it also says that husbands are supposed to love their wives as Christ loved the church. And he gave his life for it. So that means these husbands out here that want to be head of household, y'all got way more responsibility than we do as women. Absolutely. Like, my little submission ain't nothing with you laying your whole life down. That sounds like it's not just going to go your way. And so if you're listening and you're like, I want to be the head of the household, just realize it's a huge mantle to carry.
Right. It's a lot of responsibility that comes with that title.
Yeah, you can't just walk around and throw your weight around, and you're not a good leader. You're not a good communicator. You're not doing the things you're supposed to do. You're out here with sneaky links and side chicks and all that stuff, but then you want your wife to submit at home. That's not the way this is going to work, bro.
This is probably how she got to the point where she's so strong that she's not dependent on you, because you ain't stepping up to do what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
So
anyway, I just want to add that in, because I heard a friend just explain to you guys, like, okay, this is the divine order, but also you have a divine responsibility with that divine order.
Absolutely.
Yes. So please don't get it twisted, and don't come at me either, because it's the Bible. I'm just saying that you need to
take that up with God. Take it up with
him.
Jesus.
Not with me, because I ain't do it.
That part. That part. But what did we do? You do have the man who's ready to take on that responsibility. He, like this gentleman said, he that I spoke to, he really wants to be there for his wife. He really wants to be that one who is the head of the household, who is the leader. And she just would not allow it, because she's gotten to the point where she's too strong for her own good sometimes. And it may be a defense mechanism. It is a protect me. Let me protect me. And so this is how, somebody who's let me down has caused me to be this way. But I would caution, especially as women, especially when you have someone in your life who wants to and who is stepping up, that don't hold him responsible for your past. And that's very, very difficult to do.
Very hard to do.
But you really, but that whole shield or wall you put up will not come down until that man has shown himself to be consistent. Consistency, consistently showing up, consistently being empathetic, consistently being supportive, consistently making good decisions. And we're going to get on that about, making, go ahead, friend, about making good decisions.
I think the consistency is really important. Mm-hmm. I also think accountability is important.
God. Absolutely.
Just to be accountable for what you're bringing to the relationship. Mm-hmm. So as an independent woman, I'm bringing all that independent. I'm bringing my shell that I've built around myself, my walls. I'm bringing all of that to this relationship. Mm-hmm. And it's important for me to say, you know what, let me accept responsibility for that. Mm-hmm. Be accountable for that's how I'm coming into this relationship and how I'm showing up. Instead of just coming in like, oh no, I'm good. Right. I don't have some stuff I need to work on, because we all need to be works in progress constantly. Absolutely. And so just coming in and just being open and honest, instead of letting it just act itself out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like we run into this situation where we are working on something and then all of a sudden I want to be really independent. I want to be really strong. So I think, just being accountable for what I'm bringing to the relationship, mm-hmm. all the good that I bring, but also realizing and taking responsibility for, I also bring my baggage to this mm-hmm. relationship. I'm mm-hmm. bringing my walls and everything, and being willing to say that mm-hmm. and acknowledge it, that it's in the room, and have a conversation about it before it shows up.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm asserting my independence and the other person is like, well, wait a minute, let me do that for you. Mm-hmm. And you're like, no, I got it. I can do me. I can do it by myself, right, blah, blah, blah. Instead of allowing that to happen, let's just have a conversation about it beforehand.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also agree with, not only just being accountable on both parts and recognizing mm-hmm. that, I got baggage, I'm independent, I'm independent because of this, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But I think it would also help if that man who also wants to be strong is also acknowledging the fact that he has one strong woman, mm-hmm. but in recognizing that she is strong. Don't just come and say, well, the Bible says I'm the man, so hear me roar. I'm the man, I'm the head of the household.
That's not laying your life down.
Right, but that's not even being an effective leader. Mm-hmm. So that's not effective communication. I feel like you really have to be an effective leader. You have to be an effective communicator. Mm-hmm. That was one thing she said, that he doesn't communicate well. Mm-hmm. Again, let me say this for those in the back who didn't hear me the first time. You cannot be an effective leader without being an effective communicator.
That's right.
You have to be able to communicate. But those who lead the most, or who lead the best, or who are the most effective at leading, mm-hmm. listen to the people that they are trying to lead. Right. So when I say that is, when you come to your significant other, don't just say, hey, I'm man, so this is how it's going to go. But at least be able to hear her side, mm-hmm. and, see where she is coming from, and let her be able to hear where you're coming from.
Right.
Now, I will tell you guys this. Me as being a strong woman, one thing I really hate, and I struggle sometimes with letting my husband be the leader, because he is not as communicative as me, and he's not as expressive as me. But if we're making a decision, or there's a decision that needs to be made, it would be better for me, and probably for most women, if you come to me and you can express why your decision is what your decision is, or why you feel, or your opinion is the way you feel. Yeah. So what I mean by that, if he says, hey, honey, we're going to, what do you think about this? I feel like we should do this. Mm-hmm. First, don't come to me and say, this is what we're doing. I'm like,
no, why?
Who? No. Who the hell he talking to?
Right.
That's how I feel. I'll be like, who the hell he talking to?
You probably looking around for the other wife he married to, because this ain't it.
Who the hell you talking to?
But you know what? When people are if you're a leader and you have the power and authority to walk in a certain calling, you don't have to walk around and tell everybody that's who you are.
That's so true.
Like
That's
if you are walking in it, you're living it, you're doing it, you're a witness, then you don't have to talk about it. Just do it. Be about it.
Right.
And so I think about people who are over organizations or they are the CEO of a company. Do they really walk around and say, "Hi, my name is Louise and I'm the CEO"? Why do I need to do that?
Right.
What's the purpose?
Right.
That just sounds like you're trying to like pump your own self up.
That part.
But if you just walk like a leader, talk like a leader, walk with authority, know what your power is, nobody ever has to question whether or not you're a leader. We know it. We see it.
Right.
It's effective. You're setting examples for other people who want to be good leaders. What's the point of walking around, I'm the head of the household?
Right.
Well, you look crazy.
But I also think being a part, as you said, being a good leader, what shows that you're a good leader is you're a good listener.
Yes,
so
please
when you
listen.
come to me, don't say, this is what we're doing. But really what gets to me is if you say, hey, this is what we're doing, or this is how I feel we should do it. And you are listening to me, because one thing about it is, if I tell you my opinion, I'm gonna give you all the evidence to back up why I say what I'm saying or why I feel the way I'm feeling. But if I say to you, okay, well, we can agree to disagree, but why do you feel like this is the way we should approach this, or this is the decision we should make? If you come to me and you say, I don't know, it's just the way I feel, that right there. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. So when you're dealing with a strong female, acknowledge, one, that she has a mind, acknowledge, two, that she has opinion, acknowledge, three, that she can articulate what's going on and why she feels the way she feels. And for us to be able to bring down that wall and to trust you and allow you to lead, you gotta be able to do the same.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to back up why, and at least be able to say why you feel this is a sound decision. It can't be just because, well, I don't know, I just feel that way. No, you got to be able to explain, because then I'm not trusting that you've considered everything, and I'm not trusting that you in fact know what you're doing when you say we should go in this direction. But if you can tell me and you can express to me, because of X, Y, and Z, this is why this makes sense to me.
Right.
Even whether I agree or disagree with it, long as you have some sound basis and some sound evidence to back up your decision, then I am at that point supposed to submit to you. Because at that point, you tell me, hey, I've thought about these things. I've considered our family. I've considered this. I've considered that. And even though you may disagree with me, wifey poo, this is why I feel like we should go that way. But you certainly can't come to a strong woman and say,
because I feel like
I feel like it.
Well, we can't always trust our feelings either.
Absolutely.
I can feel like a bird getting ready to fly through this window over here. It doesn't
but it
mean
may not happen.
I can feel that way. It doesn't mean that it's gonna happen. So we can't always base decisions on feelings.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you can, I guess, if your feelings are true and they are lined up with some facts.
Right.
So I tell people all the time, if your feeling is not based on a fact, then we can't trust that feeling. Well, I feel like you trying me, but are they? Right. Because if that's not factual, then your feeling is out of order.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That right there, preach. That might be some merch we get ready to do. Base your feelings on facts.
Right.
Not on fiction.
Right. Right.
Because we can't always trust our feelings if it's not based on a fact.
Absolutely.
That'll
Absolutely.
preach. That'll preach. Y'all don't preach.
If you missed the word today, my friend just gave you the word.
If y'all pastor preach that word, they got it from me.
That came out of Book of Louise, the 5th chapter, 2nd verse.
Base it on some facts out here in these streets.
Absolutely. But the fact of the matter is, if you have a strong woman, the fact of the matter is she's probably gone through some stuff.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is you probably need to continue to be consistent and to show her that you got her and that she can start to trust and break down those walls. But you won't build that trust back, or you won't be able to have her to break down that wall so that she can trust you, unless you come with some evidence to support the things that you're saying or the things that you're doing.
Yes.
It can't be just based on your feelings. It can't be just because I am man, hear me roar. It can't be just because I'm the man, I'm the head of the household. You got, as Fran said, there's some responsibility with being head of the household.
Yes, it
and
is.
you got to show yourself willing and able to be able to take on those responsibilities for that strong woman to feel comfortable enough to allow you to do that and to be dependent on you.
And
because that's
a
scary thing, to be dependent on somebody.
Yeah, for sure. And to all the strong women, that's a nice segue. To all the strong women, we all need to just acknowledge what we're bringing to the table. We need to acknowledge that we're bringing these walls. We're bringing that past hurt. We're bringing that trauma. We're also bringing our awesomeness, our strength, our power, our authority over the things to be an overcomer and be resilient. We're bringing all of that to the table. We can't deny this other stuff, this baggage, the walls that we're bringing. And just being humble enough to realize that we are also works in progress and we still have things to work through with our partners. And it's okay. You didn't come into the relationship as a perfect person and everybody else in the house is wrong. Just realizing and being accountable for, hey, I got work that I need to do too. And talk about it ahead of time before it happens.
Absolutely.
Like if you already know you're a strong woman and you just walking in the door and you're like, look, I don't need you. I can do this by myself.
Your relationship is going to suffer.
Right. Just go ahead and just put it out there. I am very strong. I really do believe I can do it by myself. As a matter of fact, I know I can do it by myself. I have told my husband I can do nothing by myself. But I also realize that it's very nice to have him as a teammate. It's nice to have him as a partner, and I want to be a life partner with him, and I believe he wants to be a life partner with me if he don't quit being our production manager right now. 'Cause that's how this all
Oh my God,
started.
you about to fire him as a production
No,
manager?
I think he's gonna quit. I think he's gonna quit because I'm around here being bossy and not being a good boss. But my point is that just acknowledge what you're bringing to the table. It's really okay. And be vulnerable.
Right. And that part is hard. But I think I like what you said about acknowledging your own stuff and what you bring to the table, whether that's good baggage, bad baggage. But also you need to acknowledge when you have a good person that's in your corner. If he's consistently beating, when I say consistent, because that is a key word, being consistent in showing up, being consistent in being supportive, being consistent in trying to be a leader, being consistent. But if he's being consistent, acknowledge that. Acknowledge that you have somebody good in your corner. And so therefore, at some point, don't make him responsible for all the bad baggage that you're bringing that caused you to be strong, having to be strong all on your own. Because as Friend used to say, iron sharpen iron. We can be stronger together. Yes. So you don't want to run that person off so acknowledge also that you have somebody strong in your corner. And at some point, continue to work at it. Continue to work at, especially if he's being consistent, bringing down that wall so that you can be stronger together.
So y'all can't see him, but my husband is in the same corner of the side of the room that I'm in.
He in her corner.
He in my corner. We love you.
Thanks, Walt.
Thank you so much, Walter, for all you're doing.
See,
I
that's
appreciate you.
I appreciate you acknowledging.
Look at me. Bam.
We say you acknowledging Walt. And I'm sure he appreciates it. He appreciates being acknowledged. Yes. Just like, we would be, we appreciate being acknowledged as well for those strong women that we are. But bottom line is, don't get to the point where you're too strong for your own good and you're running off the other strong person that wants to be strong for you and in your corner.
He loves you. Let him do that.
If he's a keeper, keep him. If he ain't,
kick
baby,
rocks.
Keep being strong and independent and kick.
I don't even know if y'all can see my leg go up, but I'm trying to kick him out, right? But keep him if he good now. If he a keeper, keep him.
Absolutely. So us strong women, recognize who you got in your corner. If he's being consistent, go ahead and bring down that wall. And it's hard to be vulnerable, but, you got to for the sake of your relationship sometimes. Let him be what God has called him to be, especially if he's willing and he's able, and he's shown you that he wants to be. Yes, absolutely. Well, again, hey, this is Louise and I guess I'm Thelma. This is Thelma and Louise. No, I'm Mika. I'm Mika, and this is Love Speaks Volumes.
Yes.
And until the next episode,
Let's talk about it.